You know the other electoral candidate, what's his name, the white one? He's doing the same exact thing Fatih is doing, but you don't see him complaining about it. Why? Because the other guy is a white American. The reason why I'm shaking my head as I'm watching this is I thought he knew how to play the game better than Ilhan Omar. I'm sorry, but this is just the male version of Ilhan Omar. Not that Ilhan Omar did a bad job, but she was so fixated on catering to the Somali community, the immigrants, and almost alienizing, ostracizing the white slash native not native, but the Americans. And the thing with that is, this is where you have to play the game comes into place. Another video, another attack on the American Somali political struggle. This one is again, what's his name? Matt Walsh, very big political commentator, 3.3 million. And this video is about socialist mayoral candidate Omar Fatih reveals America's greatest threat. Omar Fatih. Like I said, man, just because of how you look, if you're gonna run for position of America, you're gonna have to expect all these, fake scandals like Ilhan Omar. The scandal that was made of her was she married her brother or whatever, and now him, the scandal about the housing thing with his wife, blah blah blah. You're gonna have there's gonna be a lot of enemies on your back just because of how you look. So you're gonna have to be aware of that, and you can't feel sorry for yourself because you know what you signed up for. This is America. But yeah, man, so far he's doing a decent job. The election's coming very soon and he's still right up there with it. He's right up there to win it. If anything, he's the favourite. But let's see what my man's got to say.
For this. You're going to come here and yell at us and accuse us? Like, who do you think you are? Here's a video making the rounds right now. This is a video of Omar Fatih, who's we talked about a couple days ago, is the Somali guy running for mayor of Minneapolis. And this is something from a little while ago. It's going viral now because he just hopped into the mayor's race. This is him as, I believe, a state senator, making the case that the real terror threat in America comes from, you'll never believe it, white people. Listen.
Heard them being called terrorists. We heard them being called drug dealers. We heard a lot of insults. We heard that they're a threat to our national security, and that's a flat-out lie. You want to know who the real threat is, Madam President? I'll give you a hint. They don't look like our chief author. They don't look like the folks up in the gallery. They don't look like the folks out in the rotunda. They look like many of the members that sit in the front. And you don't have to take my word for it. According to DHS, Madam President, the greatest domestic threat facing the United States comes from, quote, racially or ethnically motivated violent extremists. Specifically those who advocate for the superiority of the white race, not our immigrants.
The reason why I'm shaking my head as I'm watching this is I thought he knew how to play the game better than Ilhan Omar. I'm sorry, but this is just the male version of Ilhan Omar. Not that Ilhan Omar did a bad job, but she was so fixated on catering to the Somali community, the immigrants, and almost alienizing, ostracizing the white slash native not native, but the Americans. And the thing with that is, this is where you have to play the game comes into place. I've watched House of Cards, by the way. Check me out. What he's saying could be true. The white American supremacist racism, that could be the biggest cause of issue in America. But the moment you say that, you're automatically a target. You've got a big tag on your head. And 90%, I don't know the exact figure, but 90%, I'd presume, 90% of America is probably just whites. So automatically, if you're attacking 90% of the population as an immigrant, let's be real here, then you're just gonna make yourself a target. And even the people that you're trying to help, they're going to become targets as well, like the Somali, which is why there's been a huge rise of hates of Somalis in America. There's been huge rise. As I've been doing this, as I've been watching the news, as I've been doing my research, the hate towards Somalis in America is insane. And I think this has something to do with it, I'm not going to lie to you. So Omar, I think he might learn as he's doing the job, but for now, you have to balance your I don't want to say favoritism, but you have to balance your policies. your political policies, and you have to kind of get them on your side. You have to. And they don't have to, love you, but at the end of the day, don't say statements like this. I understand it's emotional, he's getting attacked left, right, centre by all these people, but this is the job that you're in, man. This is the job that you're going to have to expect all these things, and you have to play the game. You absolutely have to play the game, and it's not easy. Like I said, even with Ilhan Omar, I said it's not easy. Absolutely it's not.
Because of them.
So he can barely read. No surprise there. Standing there in his official capacity as an elected representative, claiming that, repeating the claim that white Americans are the greatest threat, the greatest terror threat, which is, of course, totally false, completely imaginary. It's absurd. But imagine how this would go in any other country outside of the Western world. Any country that is not predominantly white. What happens if I, as a white American, emigrate to China and then stand up and declare that the real threat to China comes from Chinese people? What happens if I go to China and I become a citizen of China and then I go around trying to rally people against the Chinese people? How is that...
Hey, he's got a point. That's exactly the point that I was making. This is the point that I was making. He needs to be a bit more street smart in that regard. You got to play the game. It's a delicate game, man. It's like a balloon, and there's pins everywhere, left, right, centre of you. You have to navigate like very, very. You have to navigate intentionally. One little small tip, you get popped.
Receive. How well do they receive that? How quickly, how long would it take for them to denaturalize me and deport me? Or just throw me in prison? About 5.5 seconds? But this is the kind of nonsense.
But it's different though. This is let me. America is not the same as China or other countries. America is a democratic nation. They pride themselves in that. Some other nations, they pride themselves on free speech. America. So what I'm saying, this is what you voted for, this is what you get, this is what your political establishment is all about. So I'm saying, you can't complain once once you you can't have your cake and eat it, basically, as the saying goes.
And it shouldn't be. We shouldn't tolerate it because it's a lie, number one. Also because it's just, we didn't bring you here for this. You're going to come here and yell at us and accuse us? Who do you think you are? If you're stressed about back taxes, maybe you missed the April deadline, or your books are a mess, don't wait. The IRS is cracking down. Penalties add up fast, 5% per month, up to 25%. It's extremely ungrateful for what... That's what grates me. It's one of the things that grates me so much. That's why I return to this point. Gratitude. Gratitude is one of the most important things in life. It's one of the most important... You want to be a decent person. You want to be a happy person. You want other people around you in your life to like being around you. Gratitude. Gratitude is one of the most important things. Important to any relationship. Important to a marriage. Right? Marriage is one of the main reasons marriages fall apart is a lack of gratitude. Same thing works on a national level. Where when you don't have gratitude, you got a whole bunch of people coming here who, along with everything else, not part of the culture, they don't speak language, everything else, they have no gratitude. And it tears at just like a lack of gratitude in marriage, tears the fabric of marriage. A lack of gratitude from a bunch of immigrants coming here tears the fabric of our country. And it's gratuitous because you come from Somalia, one of the poorest countries in the entire world. An incredibly dangerous country. You don't even have...
Yeah, he definitely read that Donald Trump tweet about Ilhan Omar. He definitely read that and he's just trying to regurgitate it.
You don't have basic infrastructure. You don't have well-maintained roads. You don't have clean water. You don't have reliable electricity. The average income in Somalia is the equivalent of like $50 a month. The average life expectancy is 58 years old. That's the second highest infant mortality rate in the world. The average house in Somalia has 1 or 2 rooms, and there, on average, about 7 or 8 people crammed into it. I mean, I could go on and on listing all the terrible things about Somalia.
But he's not in Somalia though. You know what I'm saying? Somalia is a developing country. It's been a country that has been absolutely destroyed by, you know what I'm saying, Western, acquisition, the British Empire. And listen, you man won. You got, at the end of the day, it's, You know what I'm saying? They won the war. You know what I'm saying? They won the battle, all that stuff. So you got to give it them. In regards to the history, you know, survival of the fittest. Survival of the fittest. This is one thing I say about the West, the emperors, the British, the American, blah blah. Survival of the fittest. They've won the war. They did whatever they did. No complaints. No complaints. You know, but the reason why the country is because of the destabilization that you guys have had direct play in it, because not even go like 35 years ago in the Black Hawk Down thing, and not only just that, other militias that the American government sent to Somalia to almost destabilize the country. You know what I'm saying? What they did to Libya and what they did to Libya with Gaddafi, you know, they make the nation go against the leader, and then just creates a whole big mess, and then absolutely just destroys itself from within. But like I said, it's survival of the fittest. You know what I'm saying? They're the fittest. We've got to hold our hands up and just accept it. We have to put our hands up and accept it, man. Survival of the fittest.
It's a terrible place to live. It's a nightmare. It really is. That's why I don't want to be there. So then you come here, or your family comes here. We graciously allow you into the country. You should be walking around every day, like kissing the ground, thanking us for allowing you to be here. You should be filled with gratitude and humility every day of your life until you die. But is that what we see? No, instead we get this. Instead they turn around, they demonize this.
Well, who does he think he is? Just 'cause he's got 3 million subscribers on YouTube. Like, you don't own the country. You're just like a civilian. You man took the country from the native Indians, the Native Americans, whatever they call it. Like I said, survival of the fittest. This is one thing you can't argue with America. They are the fittest. They are the strongest. They are the at the end of the day, they've conquered everything and everyone, especially this day and age. You know, the British, English is the most spoken language in the world because it's their language. They've, conquered everywhere, made everyone learn the language. Survival of the fittest. I'm not complaining. I'm not saying blah blah blah. It is what it is. It is what it is.
Scapegoat us. The very people that we welcomed. It's like, imagine you welcome someone into your home because they're hungry, right? They're outside hungry. You welcome them into your home, and you sit them down at your table graciously, and you feed them the nicest meal you've ever had in your life. And then imagine the person sits at this table and starts down all the food, eating with their hands, not even using a fork, and spends the whole time criticizing you and complaining. And then imagine that he, without permission, invites 10 of his friends to your table, and they sit at the table and they speak in a foreign language so that you can't even be a part of the conversation in your own house. And they leave all the dishes on the table, and they don't offer to clean up, and they don't say thank you nightly. Or they don't leave, actually. They stay, and they take up residence in your house without permission. It's like, in macro, that's basically what's happening with immigration in this country, and that's why people are fed up with it.
Do you know what's crazy as well? You know the other electoral candidate, what's his name, the white one? What's his name? He's doing the same exact thing Fatih is doing, but you don't see him complaining about it. Why? Because the other guy is a white American. He even does more. He even speaks Somali. Like Mama said, they come to a table, they speak their own language, so you're ostracized. The other guy speaks Somali as well, the white guy. I forgot his name. But yeah, if you look like this, you're an open target in America. It is what it is. Listen, this is part of the game. You just have to play the game. This is one advice that I'd have to give to Omar Fatah. You have to play the game. You have to learn from the mistakes that Ilhan Omar made. And let me guys know what you think. I've just been rambling on by myself. Do you agree with me? Do you think I'm chatting out of my backside? Whatever you believe, just make sure you like, subscribe, and let's keep this conversation going. I'm out of here.